taken you can't imagine how many tests I've taken. Whenever I first went, like I was telling him, I was in tears whenever last year ago in January 2009. I went and I hurt so bad in here, and I had a mark, which I didn't know. I had like a rash or something. He says, when did you have this? And I says, I didn't know I had it because it was back here. And so he says, well, keep an eye on it. Well, when I went back, that was gone, but then rash on my arms. Then I still have the rash on my legs. It doesn't stay. If you'd have seen my legs before, they're nothing now. Mm-hmm. A couple spots in that, but because she gave me this steroid salve, and she said, but you can't use that anymore because you're going to get...
You can see that patch here. Mm-hmm. Patch here. I had them down here before. They'd come out blood red, just like that, only blood red. And then within a week or so, they'd turn this color, and then pretty soon they get darker, like them down there get darker, and almost disappeared. But they come out blood red every once in a while, and I don't know what that is.
But
I put stuff on it, but
she says don't use that salve and that. And the doctor says take a stress test to see what this pain is here, because from January I still had it, so August I took the stress test. Mm-hmm. And so I gets on the treadmill, and as long as I walk slow, I'm fine. So he says, but we have to make it go a little bit faster. He says, can you last 3 minutes? I says, 3 minutes is no problem. So he put it on a little bit faster. So I'm walking, and I'm holding on. My legs give out. I says, I can't go no more. He says, just hold on. He says, okay, get you off because my legs give out. Mm-hmm. And then he says, I said, that's a long 3 minutes, isn't it? And he looked at me and he says, 3 minutes. And I said, that's how long you told me I had to stay. And he says, you lasted 30 seconds. And I looked at him and I said, well, I'm sorry, the legs just wouldn't go anymore. So they took the test of the heart. He said, there's nothing wrong with your heart, but it's still there. I said, that ache is still there, and it's everywhere. It's starting out the shoulders. Mm-hmm. So he said, he doesn't know. There's nothing wrong, but then why can't we go? Why are the legs giving out? Why does everybody have that knot in the stomach?
Different people in town, their legs are bothering them. Mine are killing me lately.
And everybody had the diarrhea from December to January, February. Everybody had.
I had diarrhea all the time until I quit using the water.
Yeah.
Now I'm using this other water. I don't have diarrhea no more.
But the effects of it, the damage has already been done. Mm-hmm. It seems like no matter, they keep wanting to give you another pill. I says, no, the pills aren't helping. We're not taking any more pills or something. Something has to be done. We're still bathing in it. We're washing clothes in it.
It killed my garden.
It did.
I got a good garden every year. I've been planting garden all my life. Always had a good garden. And then I found out I could plant right behind the house, up against the house. The sun shines there all day long. Hot, nice tomatoes. So that's where I planted my best tomatoes, and still some in the garden instead with cucumbers and sweet peppers and everything, hot peppers. I planted that all down in the garden. But the tomatoes were here. Well, the first part of August last year, it started getting dry. So I run a hose here and a hose out there and just left them there so I could water them every day. And I did. But the middle or late August, every damn thing in my garden died, including these tomatoes. They all died. Cucumbers and everything. I used to get tomatoes sometimes in November. In the middle of August, the tomatoes all died. Cucumbers died. The sweet peppers died. Everything died. And she was watering her houseplants with this water, and they were failing, and they didn't want to go. So she gave them to our daughter-in-law, and they started watering them over there, and they come right back to life again. There's something wrong. Plus, they come over here with their little dog, and we poured water out there. The dog would not drink the water. It just turned up his nose and walked away from it. And same with Jeannie down there.
Yeah,
they had, what was it, St. Bernard or something down there?
Yeah, St. Bernard.
The dog would not drink the water no more. Animals no more than people, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But we didn't put two and two together. Mm-hmm. until too late.
Has any health professional or any doctor that you've talked to ever considered the water as a source of your health, of any health issues?
I asked Dr.
Yeah, we talked to our own doctor.
Just there, and
That's
I
all I
said
talked
it
to.
has to be something wrong with the water, with the mussels in that.
Yeah.
But that was just, I asked him about the water, 3 or 4 months ago. I never thought about it last fall and that, but I asked him about it, and he says, "Oh well, I'll run some tests." He took at least 12 or 13 vials of blood out of me. And he said, "I can't find anything." So, I mean, why in the world, except he said, the muscles of my legs. He didn't believe that my legs are as weak as they are. You could just go like that and I'm done. But he couldn't believe how, he says, "Well, push." And I said, "I'm pushing." And there's nothing there. But he said, "I can't find anything in the blood." But in the stress test, he said, "There's nothing wrong with your heart." Then why in the world is the pain still there? I don't know.
I break out. I'll be sitting here for no reason at all. I just break out in a sweat. In the middle of every night, I wake up sweating. I got to get out of bed or drown the bed. I got to come out here and sit down. Almost every night, I got to get out of bed because somewhere in the middle of the night, I just break out in a sweat while I'm sleeping. I don't know what's going on. I never had this trouble all my life.
And has there been emotional stress as well?
Oh, yes.
from this?
I think
Sounds
that's
like
why I was crying down there at the doctor's when I went.
I don't do emotional stress. I just live each day as it comes.
That's good to hear. Have you seen any changes in your community, interrelationships of your community? How people act with each other and the friendships that, just
Well, really,
find communities?
this community has changed in the last year because
People change here.
the people that have come in have changed in the last year. We got younger people in here
Yeah,
now.
well, we don't really know them that well. I mean, we
We
see them
don't
there,
know
we
them.
speak to them, but we don't visit back and forth. And it ain't like the old days that the people used to live here that we knew for years.
Because the last
But,
2 years, 3 people have moved in.
Yeah, this house
3 new
and that
people
house
with
and-
young kids.
And Gulf South, that's 3 of them right there in a
Yeah,
row.
those 3 right there. They've all moved in. Now the other ones, Halls down there, their water is bad too.
There's water
They
back
can
in that
look
little
down
log
in their
cabin there.
well, and he says it is nasty. They haul water, but we do not socialize. They're working. I socialize with, and her 2 daughters and that are down. I don't really socialize
No,
with
they
them.
go to bingo. They don't socialize. They go to bingo.
We go to bingo, but I go with them. So really, that has been here for as long as we have.
Oh,
She's
the
always
lady.
lived
She
here.
was here before we was.
Yeah, before 50 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's like,
And her husband died, and they think that water
And-
caused it. But he was
and
cremated, so you can't prove nothing.
you can't prove it.
Every time he would get sick, they'd take him to the hospital, and he'd be in really bad shape, and they'd bring him back 3 or 4 days or a week later, and he'd be fine. This is what they said. And within a week or so, he's sick again, just coming back home. And it's happened 3 or 4 times.
It happened quite often. So that's a bad situation, and we don't want anybody to die from it. It's like, why wait till, like I said, his situation, why wait until everybody is too sick to help? They were promised, well, I can't say they promised, they suggested that we get water buffaloes. Okay, which would be fine, that way we wouldn't have to bathe in the well water. Or else, like I said, get us something. They said that our septic system is messed up and everything.
That ain't it.
No,
They're lying.
but I said, get us something that we can get rid of this water. A buffalo or something. And it's not just us.
Water
it's the
3
whole
miles up the
community.
road. Just bring it down here and give it to the whole town. That's all.
But
Get
the
some water
problem
here.
is, they're going to have it, and everybody cannot afford the tie-in this, a couple $1,000 and that. But it's going to be worth it if we can make payments or something, to help to get. But we got to get water.